After a short preview, the Next Steps lesson plan calls for echo reading. Echo reading follows an I do, we do, you do process that can ease novice or struggling readers into reading out loud on their own in a lovely way. For echo reading, basically you will read a short section of text aloud, no more than 4 to 6 lines. As you do, students track along silently with their fingers. Be sure, as you read, to obviously use expression, but read slowly and more deliberately than usual so that students actually can keep up with you as they track along. Then, when you're finished, students are going to echo or copycat that same section of text that you just finished reading. You'll do this for approximately 4 to 7 chunks of text, and then it's time to let them solo on their own. A couple of details that pertain strictly to Next Steps Triads. We found it helpful for tutors to give some very specific verbal cues during echo reading so that their students know exactly what they want them to do and when they want them to do it. For example, I found it helpful to say to my students when I began echo reading, fingers on the word must, listen to me, then they would track along reading silently. When I finished that short section of modeling, then I would tell them fingers on the word must, voices together, and then they would track along reading aloud chorally. This allowed for students to know exactly what to do and when to do it. In addition, you'll find it's important to use your voice to fade in and out during echo reading. Because there is variation within any group of 3 children, some students have a tendency to read faster than others. And so as they read along chorally, unless you use your voice to help them, they'll tend to fray a little bit and sort of become disjointed as they read at different rates. With that in mind, you can use your voice, fade in for a few words to get them back together, then fade out and listen to them for a few more words as needed. And this will keep them reading along nicely in a choral fashion. Looking good.
Are me and Braden just reading
We're
now?
up here. No, we're going to do our echo like we usually do, where I read, okay?
So,
Classmates. All right, yeah, that's a good one. Take a look at classmates, and classmates. What's that word?
classmates.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, here we go. Eyes and fingers up on Sumi, listening to me, following along. Sumi sighed, just quietly. Sumi sighed and slumped back in her chair. If only Mickey had been something more exciting than an old white goat. What was a goat next to a whole railroad? Nothing, Sumi thought. Nothing at all. Fingers and eyes back up on Sumi, voices together. Sumi sighed and slumped
back in her chair.
If only Mickey
had been something more exciting than an old white goat. What was a goat next to a whole railroad? Nothing, Sumi thought.
Nothing at all. All right, great. Okay, fingers on Sumi in this paragraph and just eyes with me. Sumi had never been on a train. Most of her classmates had never been on one either. Ayako is right, Mr. Mayor said. A railroad is coming, and the train will be an express straight from Tokyo. Fingers back up on Sumi and voices together. Sumi had never been on a train. Most of her
classmates have never been on one either.
Ayako
is right,
Mr. Mayor said. A railroad is coming, and the train will be an express straight from Tokyo. Okay, fingers and eyes on now. Listen to me. Now even Sumi forgot about Mr. Oda's goat. A Tokyo Express traveling so close to the village was something wonderful. Ayako's news was more exciting. Fingers and up on now, voices together. Now even Sumi
forgot about Mr. Oda's goat. A
Tokyo Express
traveling so close to the village was something wonderful. Ayako's news was more exciting.
All right, next page. Let's do one more, and then we'll be on our own. Okay. Fingers up on as and eyes. Just eyes with me. As soon as she got home, Sumi told her mother about the railroad. At supper, she told Father and her big brother, Taro. Taro, who was 10 and thought he knew more about everything than Sumi, seemed excited. Fingers up on as and voices together. As soon as she got home, Sumi told her mother about the railroad. At supper, she told father and her big brother, Taro, who was 10. Let's go back on that one. Start with Taro. Taro, who was 10,
and thought he knew
more about everything.
Then Sumi seemed excited.
All right, let's